Welcome back to Change Your Life. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare U.S. coins, uncovering hidden treasures that could completely change your fortune. We're exploring the top 3 most valuable, expensive, and ultra-rare Kennedy half dollars that collectors and investors are chasing right now. These incredible coins include 1993 D Kennedy half dollar, 1971 D Kennedy half dollar, 1972 D Kennedy half dollar. At first glance, they might seem ordinary. But these copper-nickel coins, some with rare red to dark brown toning, have a shocking history and are highly sought after by collectors and investors. Even in dirty or circulated condition, these coins could be worth thousands, or in extreme cases, millions of dollars today. Before you spend that old coin, stick around, because you might be holding a fortune in your hands. First up, coin number 1. Welcome back to Change Your Life, where history hides in plain sight, and ordinary objects can hold extraordinary fortunes. Today, we're exploring a coin that millions of Americans have seen and used without a second thought, yet its story and potential value could make it one of the most remarkable discoveries you'll ever encounter. The 1993 D Kennedy half dollar may look like any ordinary coin, but for collectors and investors, it represents a rare opportunity. Made of copper-nickel clad, this coin can develop stunning red to dark brown toning, turning what seems like everyday change into a treasure that commands attention. The story of this coin begins at the Denver Mint in 1993, a time when America was embracing rapid technological change and the world was on the brink of a new millennium. Coins like the Kennedy half dollar were designed for circulation, meant to move seamlessly from hand to hand, pocket to pocket, without anyone noticing. Most people tossed them into jars or spent them without thinking twice. Yet within that mass of coins, a select few would survive in conditions that would eventually make them extraordinary. Those survivors are the coins that collectors dream about. What makes the 1993 D Kennedy half dollar truly fascinating is the rare red to dark brown color shade it sometimes develops over decades. This transformation is not artificial. It is the natural result of time, air, and careful preservation. While most coins turn dull gray or wear down entirely, a coin with this unique toning stands out instantly. Collectors recognize that this subtle change is a mark of originality and rarity, a signal that the coin has survived untouched and carries its history on every surface. Condition is a critical factor, but contrary to popular belief, it's not always about shine. Many of the most valuable 1993 D Kennedy half dollars are dirty or slightly worn, and that is exactly what makes them rare. Cleaning or polishing a coin can strip away its historical integrity, erasing the very qualities that give it value. A coin that has been handled carefully yet left untouched for decades often becomes a prize far beyond what casual observers might expect. The Kennedy half dollar itself has a storied history. Introduced in 1964 after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, it was meant to honor his memory and symbolize a new era for America. The 1993 D coin is part of that lineage, linking modern minting techniques with a history rich in symbolism and national significance. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're investing in a piece of American heritage, one that bridges the past and present while carrying the potential for astonishing financial reward. Over the years, stories have emerged of ordinary people discovering a 1993 D Kennedy half dollar in a forgotten drawer or an old coin roll, only to realize its value is far beyond the face amount. These coins, when sold to the right collectors or investors, have commanded tens of thousands, and in extreme cases, even millions of dollars. It's not magic, it's the result of rarity, demand, and the incredible power of preservation combined with the right historical context. Market trends have made coins like this particularly exciting. As more people recognize the potential of modern-era coins, the demand grows while the supply of well-preserved, rare-tone 1993 D Kennedy half dollars steadily declines. Collectors know that patience and knowledge are key. The moment you notice a coin with unusual toning, strong details, and untouched surfaces, you could be looking at a life-changing opportunity. It's a reminder that value is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see it. Holding one of these coins is not just about potential profit, it's about history, connection, and the thrill of discovery. Every scratch, every shade, every curve tells a story. The copper-nickel surface, the careful strike from the Denver Mint, and the decades of preservation all combine to create something far more powerful than the sum of its materials. It is a coin that reminds us that even the most mundane objects can hold incredible significance if we learn to recognize it. Finally, the lesson of the 1993 D. Kennedy half-dollar is timeless. Fortune is often disguised in the ordinary. A coin you have ignored for years could be the very key to changing your life overnight. Respect it, examine it, and understand its story, because this is more than a coin. It is a treasure that links history, rarity, and unimaginable financial potential. One day, that ordinary piece of metal might just make you realize that sometimes, the smallest objects can carry the biggest fortunes. Welcome back to Change Your Life, the place where ordinary coins can hide extraordinary fortunes and every forgotten object tells a story waiting to be uncovered. Today, we're diving into a coin that millions have seen but few truly appreciate, the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it might appear to be just another coin, but collectors and investors know that its story, condition, and rarity make it one of the most sought-after coins in modern U.S. history. Crafted from copper-nickel clad, this coin can develop an incredibly rare red to dark brown toning, making it a true gem for those who understand the subtleties of numismatics. The story of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar begins at the Denver Mint, a time when America was recovering from economic changes and coins moved through the country unnoticed, changing hands countless times. While most coins of this era were spent without a second thought, some survived under unusual conditions that allowed them to age in a way few people expected. These survivors are the ones that today command extraordinary attention and immense value among serious collectors. What sets the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar apart is its natural color transformation, a rare red to dark brown shade that develops over decades. This toning is not artificial or manipulated. It is the quiet result of time, environment, and careful preservation. Coins that achieve this coloration stand out immediately because it signals originality, survival, and uniqueness. While most coins fade into dull silver over the years, a coin with this rare toning becomes instantly recognizable to collectors as something truly special. Condition plays a surprisingly complex role in determining value. While many people assume a shiny, polished coin is more valuable, the truth is almost the opposite for high-level collectors. Cleaning destroys originality, stripping away the very qualities that make a coin rare and desirable. Many of the most valuable 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollars were discovered in circulated, even dirty condition, and it is precisely that untouched history that makes them priceless. Dirt and wear can act as a protective layer, preserving the coin's story for decades and adding to its authenticity. The Kennedy half-dollar series itself carries a remarkable history. First minted in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy, these coins became a symbol of American resilience, leadership, and hope. By 1972, the series had matured, and the coins struck in Denver were produced with precision while still circulating widely. The 1972 D coin bridges the early historical era of Kennedy half-dollars with the modern collecting era, giving it both historical significance and collectible intrigue. Owning this coin is not just about its material, it's about holding a piece of national history in your hand. Stories of life-changing discoveries involving Kennedy half-dollars have circulated quietly among collectors for years. People who found coins tucked away in old drawers, forgotten boxes, or jarred coin collections sometimes realized too late what they held. A 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar in excellent condition with rare toning can sell for tens of thousands or even more in the right market. The excitement is not imaginary, it's the result of rarity, historical context, and the laws of supply and demand. Collectors pay attention to minute details, the clarity of Kennedy's profile, the sharpness of Monticello on the reverse, and the subtle variations in toning and texture. Each element contributes to a coin's value. A single 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar can outperform hundreds of ordinary coins if it possesses the right combination of originality, toning, and minimal wear. This is why patient collectors study coins carefully, recognizing that the smallest characteristics can define a fortune. The market for these coins has only strengthened over the decades. As more collectors and investors become aware of modern-era rarities, demand continues to rise while supply gradually diminishes. This dynamic creates a scenario in which a coin that once seemed ordinary now commands extraordinary prices. The 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar embodies this phenomenon, standing as proof that value often hides in the mundane until the right eyes recognize it. Holding one of these coins is not just about wealth, it's about connection, history, and the thrill of discovery. The metal, the design, the toning, and the decades of survival combine to create a story that is far more powerful than the coin's face value. It is a tangible reminder that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold life-changing significance if we take the time to examine them closely. Finally, the lesson of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar is clear: fortune is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone with patience, knowledge, and curiosity to recognize it. A coin that may have been sitting in a jar, drawer, or old collection for decades could suddenly become a treasure of unimaginable value. Respect its history, study its condition, and understand its story, because this is more than a coin, it is a gateway to a fortune, a piece of American history, and a symbol of patience rewarded. Welcome back to Change Your Life, the channel where ordinary coins can hide extraordinary fortunes and even the smallest objects can change lives overnight. Today, we explore a coin that millions of Americans have seen, handled, or even spent, yet few understand its true potential: the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it may appear like a regular coin, but its history, rarity, and subtle beauty make it a treasure among collectors and investors. Crafted from copper nickel, this coin sometimes develops a rare red to dark brown toning, elevating its value far beyond what the casual observer would ever expect. The story of this coin begins at the Denver Mint in 1971, a time of economic and social change in the United States. Coins moved through hands by the millions, often unnoticed, tossed into jars, wallets, or loose change piles without anyone thinking twice. While most of these coins were treated as everyday currency, a small number survived in remarkable condition. These survivors, often uncleaned and naturally toned, have become some of the most sought-after coins in modern U.S. numismatics. Their rarity lies not in age alone, but in survival, originality, and subtle beauty developed over decades. What makes the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar particularly fascinating is its natural toning. Over time, environmental factors such as air, moisture, and handling can create deep red to dark brown shades on the coin's surface. This coloring is not artificially induced, it is the quiet result of time and preservation. Coins with this natural toning instantly attract attention because it signals both authenticity and rarity. While the average coin fades to dull gray or silver, these rare tone examples stand out, offering collectors and investors a glimpse into a unique piece of history. Condition is often misunderstood by casual observers. Many believe that a shiny, polished coin is more valuable, but for collectors, originality is king. Cleaning a coin, even with the best intentions, removes the very qualities that make it rare. Some of the most valuable 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollars were discovered in circulated or slightly dirty condition, and that dirt, that patina, is a protective shield preserving its history. Each mark, tone, and variation contributes to the coin's narrative and enhances its value in the eyes of collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar series carries a storied legacy. Introduced in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy, these coins represent more than currency, they are a tribute to an era, a memory of a nation, and a symbol of hope and leadership. By 1971, the series had matured, blending modern minting techniques with the symbolism and reverence of earlier issues. The 1971 D coin, struck in Denver, connects collectors to that history while offering a rare opportunity in the modern collector market. Owning this coin is like holding a piece of national heritage in your hand, a tangible connection to the past. Stories of discovery add to the coin's mystique. Many people have found 1971 D Kennedy half-dollars tucked away in drawers, jars, or forgotten collections, only to realize the coin's real worth years later. A coin that once circulated casually can now fetch tens of thousands of dollars, or even more in rare circumstances, depending on its condition and toning. These opportunities highlight the unpredictable power of rarity and the patience required to recognize it before everyone else does. Collectors look closely at every detail: the sharpness of Kennedy's profile, the clarity of Monticello on the reverse, and the evenness and depth of the rare red-brown toning. Every detail influences value. A single coin can outperform hundreds of ordinary coins in the hands of a knowledgeable collector. This is why those who study coins meticulously, who respect history, and who understand the subtle cues of rarity, often find themselves in possession of life-changing treasures. The market for these coins continues to grow. Modern-era coins are increasingly recognized for their hidden value, and the 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar is a prime example. Supply diminishes as coins are lost, damaged, or polished, while demand rises among collectors and investors aware of their potential. A coin that once seemed ordinary now commands extraordinary prices, turning everyday spare change into a potential fortune. Holding a 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar is about more than money. It is about connection, history, and the thrill of discovery. The coin's metal, design, and decades of survival tell a story that no polished surface or shiny finish could replicate. It is a reminder that even the most overlooked objects can carry profound significance if approached with patience, respect, and knowledge. Finally, the lesson is clear: fortune often hides in plain sight. That 1971 D. Kennedy half-dollar sitting in a jar, drawer, or old coin collection could transform your financial future if recognized at the right time. Every scratch, shade, and mark tells a story, and in the right hands, it becomes more than a coin. It becomes a treasure with historical and financial power, a symbol of patience rewarded, and proof that sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest fortunes.